It's a little cool outside of our studios this Thursday morning, but it also is the start of what appears to be a beautiful day shaping up. Good morning and welcome to the morning edition. I'm Jiminita Swain. Forecaster Greg Thompson joins us in studio to provide us with our first check on weather. Good morning, Greg.
This weather report is sponsored. Explore the world of agriculture with us. Join me.
Yeah, good morning, Jimmy, and good morning, everybody. Yeah, a rather cool morning to start. Temperatures are into the upper 60s to the low 70s. Coolest still across the extreme northwest Bahamas. 71 degrees outside our studio with some partly cloudy skies. Winds are very calm. Humidity at 85%, barometric pressure 1,013.3 millibars. That's 30.13 inches, and it is steady. Temperatures across the extreme northern islands into the mid to upper 60s, 67 in Freeport, as well as in Green Turtle, Key Abaco, 72 in Marsh Harbour Island. We pick up 74 in Alistown, Bimini, Bullocks Harbour, 75, and in Fresh Creek at Rock Sound, 71 here in the capital, 72 in Harbour Island. Into the central Bahamas, temperatures also in the, low to mid 70s there, 75s, most locations, exception being Georgetown, you had 76, Arthurstown, Cat Island, Comerton, San Salvador, and in Rum Key, 76 there as well. Deep South, warmer still, temperatures into the mid to upper 70s there. 77 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, Clownstown, that's in Long Island, Current Hill, Crooked Island. 78 in Spring Point, Acklands, Betsy Bay, you're at 76. Matthewtown, Inagua, 78. Our neighbors to the southeast, Turks and Caicos Island, rounding our temperature profile at 79. Satellite-wise, once again, high pressure in charge and nothing really happening out there. We're going to see a couple of patchy clouds across the islands early this morning, but we could see some increase in clouds later on. But that high pressure is going to be moving out. A weak front will be moving through us. Not really going to change much in terms of temperature, but it will reinforce our nice and cool conditions for us for the next day or so. Your boating conditions for today through tonight, north to northeast winds, 10 to 15 knots, seas running 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. High tide will be at 8:42 this morning. Your low tide will be taking place at 3:12 this afternoon. Here's a look at some travel temperatures if you're doing any traveling today on Thanksgiving. Travel forecast. More weather is still to come.
Well, thanks, Greg. As you can see from our tower cam shot, it's a beautiful morning, as we said, shaping up. But our traffic team is standing by with Kelsey Johnson to give us an idea of what's happening on the streets. Good morning, Kelsey.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Good morning, Jiminita. Good morning, Bahamas. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. We're going to give so much thanks on this Thanksgiving Day. We're here on University of Bahamas Drive, not too far from Moss Road. Now, I just want to remind the general public that there is some work going on this particular road, on this particular corridor, not too far from the University of the Bahamas. On the eastern side of the road, you will find some road work, some pavement work. Pavement is going on there, as well as in the roundabout not too far from the University of the Bahamas. There is an open trench, so we want to remind the general public to drive with due care and caution. Now joining me live is Sergeant Thompson. Sergeant Jerron Thompson, good morning, sir. I am sure you have so much to be thankful for because it was a busy Wednesday night, I understand, for the traffic police.
Good morning to you. Good morning, Bahamas. Yes, it is. I am indeed thankful for the day and for the year so far. We did have a busy 24-hour period for the entire Bahamas. We had a total of 36 crashes. 4 of those involved hit-and-run accidents, and 5 involved accidents with injuries.
Now, this morning I woke up to a message saying that you should not run the red light because one of my friends got into an accident earlier this morning. Talk about the importance of being cautious, especially after that midnight hour. Persons think it's okay for them to cross the red light without even giving some kind of signal that they're coming.
Yes, that's just an urban myth where you could run the red light after the midnight hour. That is indeed not true. That is so far from the truth. If you were to catch you running the red light, you would be reported. Persons, they believe that since there's minimal traffic on the road, that it's okay to run the traffic light at that hour. And that is not the case.
Now, we've also spoke a lot about this left turn here on Moss Road from the University of the Bahamas. A lot of persons are still staying on the red light. Yes,
at this particular junction, this light, this already gave you a giveaway before the law change. So we don't have an issue here, but on the next side, on Blue Road side in the area of NIB, there is an issue because there's a long line of traffic during peak hours of the day. And persons who are on the far left lane, which is the turning lane, they are a bit hesitant to make the left turn. They want to wait until the light turns green, and that is causing a backup. So I encourage those persons on that particular traffic light, once you make sure the way is clear, you just need to make that turn, and so we don't cause no traffic congestion. And also, I'd like to mention that there are some other roadworks on Soldier Road, just in the area of Bamboo Shop. They have a traffic diversion in that area. I'm going to send a cyclist in that area to monitor that area to make sure there's a smooth traffic flow, because I know that there's indeed also a preschool in that area. And a lot of persons will be dropping off in that area, so just be mindful of that.
All right, thank you so much, Sergeant Thompson. We have so much to be thankful for on this Thanksgiving Thursday. So, Jim and Anita, I have some tricks up my sleeve. I'll be cooking in a few minutes, so I'm going to toss it back to you. I probably bring you back some stewkung because we're right across the road from the reef. I'll open it up if they're not open for you. Back to you in the studio.
Well, thanks, Kelsey. Now to the top story. The Bahamas Power and Light Company has been fined in excess of $200,000 after being found in breach of the Public Electricity Service License and the Electricity Act of 2015. The Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority, or URCA, issued the final determination and order on November 26. In a statement, URCA says it launched 2 investigations into the power provider, one in relation to a September 7th, 2018 fire at the Clifton Pier Power Station that led to widespread power outages on New Providence, and another due to BPL's announced load shedding this past summer. URCA says the frequent power outages had serious adverse impact on the public, and information was requested from BPL to assist URCA in its deliberation, but the power company failed or refused to respond to the request. URCA says that failure continues to impact its ability to carry out its functions as a regulator, and this is seen as repeated breach to warrant a fine. Now, BPL has 30 days to pay that fine. Well, more unfolding this morning on the electricity bond bill presented to the House of Assembly yesterday. Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, touting the long-term benefits of the electricity legislation once it's passed in Parliament. As he seconded the debate on the bill in the House of Assembly yesterday, the Prime Minister emphasized the need to equip Bahamas Power and Light with 21st century technology.
No one wants the events of this summer in New Providence to be repeated. For that to be prevented, Mr. Speaker, we must invest heavily in new equipment, software, and facilities of the future. With the addition of cleaner, cheaper fuel and more efficient generators that consume less energy, it is expected that the cost of electricity will go down. We are seeking to make the difficult decisions now to ensure a better and cheaper energy future for all Bahamians.
Now to the courts. No response yet from the Attorney General's office on its next move in the bribery trial of Shane Gibson, which ended yesterday in a not guilty verdict on all 15 charges. A tearful Gibson thanked God for helping him to beat those charges. He said throughout the ordeal, it felt like all forces were working against him, but he expressed gratitude to his family, legal team, and supporters for backing him. His attorney, Keith Knight QC, also commented on the victory.
Nobody knows how many hours go into something like this. Right. Literally how many hours. Right. Every single day we left court, we went to the hotel and we met. And we went over every single piece of evidence, every single piece of transcript. Sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, my lawyer, Mr. Knight and Owen, still up, working. Sometimes we would leave the hotel, Damien, I, and Fish. Sometimes 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, we leave the hotel. Along with my personal assistant, Ms. Lorraine Hamilton, who did an excellent job supporting us.
Firstly, want to thank the legal team, because I don't want anybody to believe that I did this on my own. No, it was full support from the legal team.
Nearly 3 months after Hurricane Dorian left a trail of destruction at the University of the Bahamas' northern campus, UB's president is providing an update on the students that were impacted and the future plans for the campus. Cleopatra Murphy has the details.
A number of students from the University of the Bahamas' northern campus have relocated to New Providence after the Category 5 megastorm Hurricane Dorian tore up the school's Grand Bahama campus, also totally destroying the library. University of the Bahamas president Dr. Rodney Smith says those students who relocated are thriving.
We have 63 students that came to the main campus on Nassau, and they have settled in quite well. We've secured housing for all of those students. Those students fell under the $500 a month housing allowance, so we were able to locate places for those students, and they're very, very happy.
As for the progress of repairs to the facility, or if the university will be looking for a new site, Smith says officials are looking at a number of possibilities, but no final decisions have been made. He says the Grand Bahama campus will also be the site of UB's recently announced Climate Change Adaptation and Resilience Research Center.
This is the first research center that will be located on that new facility, on the old facility. So we're repurposing that location, and at the same time, we're also looking to expand the UB North campus in Grand Bahama.
While classes at UB North resumed on September 30th, Smith says students have been split between 2 different locations, at the Teachers Credit Union building and at the Bishop Michael Eldon High School. So far, he says it is working.
We're placing air conditioners in the classrooms at the high school, and they will remain there when we move out. We're also doing some upgrades. But so far, the faculty and the staff under Dr. Strawn's leadership have been resilient. Perfect example of resiliency, up and running within the same month of the hurricane.
Smith says the University of the Bahamas family has also been encouraged by the tremendous support it has received from the international academic community that has sent in relief funds to get the campus up and running again.
New York University has made a tremendous donation in technology, and they've replaced all of the technology that was lost at UB North. It was shipped down from New York, from NYU, from New York University. We have other colleges and universities across the United States that have made tremendous financial contributions. Campuses have actually engaged in UB North relief campaigns on their campuses and send funds down. Mr. Dino Hernandez, who is our VP for Advancement, keeps track of all of those on a daily basis. So those funds continue to come in to support UB North.
Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Well, coming up in the morning edition, airport travel and what you should know if you are heading to the airport on this Thanksgiving Day.
Explore the world of agriculture with us. Join me, your host, Carla Palmer, for continued adventures in agriculture and the marine environment as we head into Season 2 of the program, Agriculture Now. That's Agriculture Now, moving to a new date and time, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m., right here on the ZNS Television Network.
ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Watch our live channel to keep up with what's going on in the nation. News updates, we've got you covered. Tune into our radio stations with just a swipe. On the road, on the go, we're here with you. Available for download on the App Store and the Google Play Store.
Look here, it's hurricane season right now, June 1st all the way to November 30th. Now, the peak of our hurricane season, that's when we usually get our hurricanes. It's early August up until late October. Now, Bahamians, don't get slipping because we know we last minute. Now listen to the TVs and the radios. They can give you all the information, let you know if we get a warning or a hurricane watch. Now we get 5 different categories of hurricanes. Category 1, I like call it the Shawnee Miller Ubu hurricane. Just imagine you running a race, right? And you think you about to win, and Shawnee Miller just shoots straight past you. Imagine that breeze you feel. Category 2, you picture yourself driving in the States, right? You on the highway, and 2 big trucks shoot straight past you. You better move, and the whole car just shake. Please change your shingles, because I ain't picking your shingles up out my yard. No more. Category 4, Category 5, we talk about catastrophic winds. Bahamians, be prepared. Don't go nowhere. I get plenty more information I bring into you all, but I just need you all to be aware. Season.
Across the entire span of the Bahamas, there is a strategic spread of national parks which play a vital role in protecting the survival and well-being of diverse wildlife, as well as Bahamian livelihoods. The Andrews Westside National Park, for instance, consists of thriving bonefish populations, the healthiest stands of red mangroves found in the Bahamas, breeding and nursery areas that support wildlife such as snappers, groupers, lobsters, and threatened and endangered species like marine turtles, the Andrews rock iguana, and the flamingo.
If we do not effectively safeguard our natural treasures, vital habitats, which include nursery and breeding areas, will become vulnerable to a number of threats impacting the way we live. We must remember to do our part to maintain the integrity of the natural environment. Remember, if we take care of nature, nature will take care of us.
Welcome back to the morning edition. It was a strong show of support to help eliminate violence against women and girls. Members of the Zonta Club were at Parliament yesterday, where they used the opportunity to attach orange pins or ribbons on parliamentarians. The Zonta Club is continuing its activities to mark the 16 days of activism for the elimination of violence. President of the Zonta Club of Nassau, Latoya Johnson, talks about the importance of the event.
For Zonta, this is our November 25th started the 16 days of activism that we have, violence against, saying no to violence against women and girls. So it was very important for us to be here in order to make a stand and let everyone know that we say no and we want them to stand with us to say no as well.
Zonta Club of New Providence President Keila Darville explains how the event has been expanded since its 7-year inception.
The parliamentarians have always supported us for the 7 years. We've campaigned on our Say No to Violence, and the Department of Gender Affairs, as well as the Ministry of Social Services, has partnered with the Zonta Clubs. And for this year, being our 100th year, we've partnered with other NGOs. So this is significant for Zonta and women and the Say No to Violence campaign.
Well, as the campaign mounts to eliminate violence against the women, we sat down with the president of the Bahamas Crisis Center, Dr. Sandra Dane Patterson, on this growing concern in the Bahamas. She also shared efforts underway to help children impacted by abuse.
What we found out, I guess, in the last 10 years is since we can x-ray the brain and look at the brain, we found out how trauma impacts the brain. Trauma changes the brain of persons. So it's important to access children at the time of their trauma. So if a child is being physically, sexually, psychologically, witnessing violence in the home, all those things can affect the child. So we have a program that's specific for children exposed to trauma and exposed to violence. And we bring them in for a 10-week session once a week to help them process it and understand it's not them, you know, and so that they can cope in school. And now with the hurricane, you know, you have the trauma of the hurricane. Yeah. And so it's important for people to understand that that is a normal reaction to an abnormal event. And if you're concerned about a change in your child, their nightmares, their jumpiness, their lack of concentration, whatever issues, you know, reach out and get some help.
Now, obviously, the persons on the other end of the line are volunteers. Talk to us about the work or role that they play in your organization.
We could not manage without our volunteers, could never manage without our volunteers. Our volunteers answer the hotline, we have a 24-hour hotline. They would answer the hotline. It's programmed to them in their home at 5:30, and then it's deprogrammed in the morning. So it's it's answered in the office in the day. Okay. But the volunteers who do the weekend hotline, who are on duty from Friday afternoon to Monday morning, very special volunteers. And then we have volunteers who will go to the police station to talk with victims of violence. They would accompany them to court, you know, when they go, you know, because for sexual assault victims, sometimes the court experience can be almost as horrendous as the actual rape, you know, and some people call it a second rape that occurs in the court. So it's important to have as many persons supported as we can. We can't support everybody who goes to court, so we have to be selective in who we send the volunteers with. And then, of course, we have volunteers who, we have a peace campaign that talks about bullying in the schools. We have a healthy relationships program, which talks to young people about being in a healthy relationship, a dating healthy relationship, so that you understand when you get older how you can relate healthily to each other. So we have all those things that our volunteers do. We could never manage without our volunteers.
And even you yourself are a volunteer.
That's right.
I know that you were recently recognized by the British High Commissioner, Ms. Sarah Dixon. She presented you with a special award from the Queen. So you want to tell us about that award, what's the significance of it, and how did it make you feel?
Well, you know, I was really shocked because, number one, I'd never heard of this organization that the Queen has, Points of Light. And apparently what it is they look in the Commonwealth at different countries and identify persons. And so I feel very special. I feel very honored, but really and truly, I am the face of the volunteers, you know, and it's the volunteers who have done the work that have gotten the crisis. And what's so interesting is in 1997, we received a Commonwealth Award for a model of health care for women. So here it is, 20 years later, we're also recognized, so that's nice.
In other news, while hundreds enjoyed all that was offered at the Bahamas National Trust Jollification event now in the history books, the environmental organization also gained a considerable number of new members. That was welcome news for BNT's Executive Director Eric Carey, which he says really was not that difficult to attract new members.
Jollification it was a huge success. You know, I mean, you know, we had a good gate, we had a good crowd there, but we also had a lot of new members. I mean, a lot of people that we engage at the gate. It doesn't take a lot to explain to them the benefits of being a member of the National Trust. Yes, you get a reduced fee, but a lot of people join because they wanted to make a difference, and they tell us that they've seen the work that we've been doing, whether it's for advocacy, saving conch, or getting national parks on stream, or doing environmental education. So more people believe in our work, and that is demonstrated by the fact that, you know, more than 200 people, new members, we signed up over the weekend, and that's phenomenal because there's strength in numbers.
Gary says individual membership is about $30 a year, and a family rate could go up to $50. The BNT's executive director says while more membership is the Trust's lifeblood, it also gives the organization a stronger force to argue with for the environment's protection and preservation.
The Bahamas National Trust is the leading environmental organization in the country. We do advocacy, we manage national parks on behalf of Bahamian people. We also, especially when we're doing advocacy, working with the government on issues, the louder voice we have, the bigger seat we have at the table. So membership helps us to achieve a lot of that. Membership does have its privileges. You get free entrance to all of the national parks except for special events. You get discounts on merchandise. You get invited to special events like Members Evening, etc. But most importantly, by being a member of the National Trust, you support our work.
All today, many people will be traversing the Lyndon Pinley International Airport, and others globally heading to unknown destinations, some to celebrate Thanksgiving. And while LPIA says it's prepared for the increased passenger volumes that's expected to last until December 2nd. For traveler Jamie Tarpley from New Jersey, he was sad to be leaving the Bahamas to head back to those cooler temperatures, but he had only positive things to say about the destination and his airport experience.
Well, I liked it a lot. The weather was gorgeous. Couldn't ask for more. It was warm during the day, and then it got cool at night, you know, so it was like you could go swimming, and then it wasn't too blistering hot. The humidity wasn't bad. and you had a really nice breeze in the nighttime, so I really enjoyed that. So this is a lot smaller than the other airports I went to. Like, we're going back to Philadelphia Airport. It'll be crazy checking in and out of there. This was smaller, a lot quicker. We were able to get in and out a lot quicker. I've also flown to Cancun, and that was really crazy getting in there when you arrive. It's like a madhouse. But here it was very small and it was smooth, the transition, so I enjoyed it.
On this Thanksgiving morning, an organization in our midst, Great Commission, has much to be thankful for. In studio with us, Bishop Walter Hanchel, who's been heading the organization for a number of years. Good morning, Bishop Hanchel, and welcome to the Morning Edition.
Good morning.
Well, Great Commission is celebrating 32 years. How significant is this?
Well, first of all, let me say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We have been celebrating Thanksgiving for the last, every year, 1 week before the U.S. Thanksgiving. And so we started last week with a Feed the 5,000 bash, where we had scrumptious meals for almost the entire island. And we are thankful today for the Lord allowing us 32 years to serve the people of the Bahamas. We are quite grateful for what He's allowed us to do.
So how did your organization get started? And talk to us about the impact you've been having on those that are less fortunate amongst us.
Well, the ministry started basically in our home. About 35 years ago, we started reaching out to people who were hurting and homeless and poor, and we took some folks into our homes, and that's how the ministry got started. But we've since blossomed, and we've impacted almost the entire nation. We're in the process of, we're celebrating this entire month as Great Commission Month, but tomorrow we celebrate what we call Great Commission Day. And we have a big day planned for the entire island, and we're inviting persons from all over New Providence to stop by and see what is happening, because we launching our Live to Give network. We're doing a lot of, we have ZNS going to be there live. We have a lot of prizes and surprises. We're going to have a barbecue, free barbecue, and we want people to come out and support us and see what we're doing, get a tour. We're going to have live music. Our board of directors will be there. Our clients, staff, volunteers, our former clients, our former volunteers. Everybody's invited to attend that great event.
So, I'm sorry, just to interrupt you there. Are you able to tell us how many persons you think or estimate that you would have impacted or assisted over the course of these 35/32 years?
Oh, no, I can't.
But it's been many. I know that on any given day when you have your feeding program, if you drive past the organization on Wolf Road, you see a number of persons out there, whether they're eating or getting clothes. What does that do for you, being so close to those that need assistance?
Well, it thrills my heart when I see so many persons who are hurting, who need help. People come to us who are living in vehicles, living in their cars, with nowhere to stay. And we find beds, we find accommodation for them. People come to us hungry with no food in their homes. And we give them grocery packages, we give them hot meals. We send out hot meals every day to the elderly, to the shut-ins. And Great Commission Ministries has the largest feeding program in the country. And we are proud of our donors, our supporters, our volunteers, and everybody who helped to make this happen.
And just reiterate for us your Live to Give initiative that's going to be launched.
Yeah, the Live to Give is a national initiative that we will launch, God willing, tomorrow. And what it is we are focused on 5 specific areas of ministry. Number 1 is feeding. Number 2 is sheltering. Number 3 is empowerment. We believe that it's time now to empower the people that come to us. And then also we focus on youth and also substance abuse. So we have divided the ministry into 5 different areas. We have each one of our board members heading one area, and we have a plan, a strategy for 5 years, a 5-year strategic plan which we will implement starting tomorrow.
Well, definitely, Bishop, that sounds like so much to be thankful for. So Live and Give, that initiative being launched tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us on the Morning Edition. So stay with us. We have much more for you on this Thanksgiving Day.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, your hottest place on the planet for rims, tints, tires, and auto sales. We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Track Lights, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king. Blessed luck.
It's the OT with yours truly, Charles Fisher.
Buddy Hield and the Kings have their...
Buddy Hield seems to be having the best season of his career. He had 32 points the other night. It was a bit disappointing, Shawnee Miller not winning the IAAF World Female Athlete of the Year. The high school rankings will soon be out. Tabernacle, the defending champion, CC Sweeting, they are always there. Who will it be this year? Each Monday on 1540 AM and 104.5 FM, it's the OT with yours truly, Charles Fisher.
When I got the call of what CSCO was doing with the Give Back Girl project, I immediately said yes.
Just tired and want everything to go well. And I told CSCO, I don't know if I could go to Abago. I don't know. I know I would just be an emotional wreck.
Hey guys, I need help.
The difference this time, it was a lot larger. These projects take a lot to make happen.
Well, with a lot of anticipation, but I kept looking.
We had volunteers near and far.
It was important for everyone to be on the same page, to be organized.
The police said, hey, you all were here all day, and someone was able to come in and plant something, and the dog found it.
Without people like Siaska, the world would be pretty much messed up.
See, there's the things y'all gotta watch.
Welcome back to the Morning Edition. As many visitors make their way to the Bahamas, we should remind you that good customer service is extraordinarily important for any business to flourish. We spoke to human resource professional and president of the HR Freedom Series here in New Providence, Wellington Hepburn, about the importance of training the workforce to offer the best possible customer service.
We don't have a consistent customer service standard, and you can almost feel it. It's almost palpable. So when we think about training, it is hugely important, one, to help employees understand that if this is the product that we are putting out as our primary contributor to gross domestic product, then we need to have a sense of urgency and a sense of pride behind our customer service and make sure that it's important for us. And I think when I think about our Bahamian society, I see some opportunities for us to become better at that.
Well, Hepburn says that he has seen many government and private organizations implement customer service training programs, but there has to be more consistency so that we can compete as a nation.
When you really think about tourism-centric economies, it's very little that differentiates us in terms of competitive advantage. You know, what makes the Bahamas different from Aruba? What makes the Bahamas different from Jamaica? And I think one of the key competitive drivers that makes us different is the warmth of our people, flat out. So training is hugely important in creating that urgency with team members to let them know that they are ambassadors and that they need to consistently promote good customer service, but also to show them how to do it.
And in this next report, Anthony Smith shares how a local outlet in Abaco is spending Thanksgiving following the storm.
Just south of Marsh Harbor, the persons we spoke to said they have a lot to be thankful for. And here at Pete's Pub, they're most thankful for a business that's still standing.
It's been pretty steady. There's been a couple slow days, but Sundays we get a lot of nice locals coming by for a day off.
This little harbor pub was best known for its stunning views, both from the bar and its art gallery. Officially rebounding 1 month ago since Hurricane Dorian, bar manager Heather Johnston says a Thanksgiving celebration was in order.
We love Thanksgiving. We have a lot to be thankful for, and it's a great day to celebrate with our friends and family. I'm thankful for being on Abaco. It's a community that is just so strong and self-sufficient.
Boat captain and Pete's Pub crew member Raymond Lowe says he's too thankful, as the spot often reminds him of an Abaco pre-Dorian.
Pete's Pub has been a lifesaver for me, and it's really nice just to have somewhere that people could go and, you know, relax and have a nice time. People to be able to get out and just relax a little bit is really great.
And as the holiday season continues, Johnston says the business is also looking to expand its operations and become that fun hub it was known as once again.
The pub will be open full-time starting Boxing Day through January, I think it's 5th. And we're going to open every day for lunch and dinner and hopefully enjoy some of that business over the holidays. And I don't know if it'll be locals or I don't know how many tourists we'll get, but we're going to soak it up.
Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Anthony Smith.
Thanks, Anthony. There's more to come in the morning edition after this break.
It's time for the best of the best regatta, December 5th through 8th. See the best boats, the best crews, the best skippers, all compete in the best harbor. And on land, the best onshore activities. With the action on the water and the fun on the shore, there's something for everyone. And at night, check out the best in Bahamian entertainment. It's the best of the best regatta, December 5th through 8th. Be there.
Everybody, welcome to sports on this Thanksgiving Day. Can't wait for that food. Jimmy says she's been cooking for quite some time. After hitting the game-winning shot to down the #1 college basketball team in the country, Grand Bahamian Nathan Bain is the most famous face in college basketball. He did rounds on all the major sports shows Wednesday, like Sports Center and Get Up. He was talked about in all the sporting circles, not only in the United States, but also here in the Bahamas. Now get this, Bain's game winner sparked a spike in donations to a GoFundMe account set up to help the player's family rebuild after the aftermath of Hurricane Dorian. The page that the university officials started for Bain once they considered closing down after just raising over $2,000. Now, a month later, donations have spiked to $62,000. Afternoon. after $25,000 was given yesterday. Now he's up to over $68,000. Now in his most recent interview yesterday, he is the most famous basketball player in the country.
I mean, that was surreal, you know. It's something you dream about, you know, growing up as a kid, you know, making a game winner against, like, a great team. And, you know, that's something you just always dream about. And then, you know, it's a reality today. Your team just come out and do what we're supposed to do. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, those are the locker rooms we talk about in practice. We talk about celebrating locker rooms, and, like, our goal was to have one of those tonight. Or last night, and it was and we accomplished it. You know, it's a feeling you can't make up, you can't recreate. You know, it just happens in the moment.
When I first, I didn't even look to see if the ball went inside the rim. I laid it up, and I started looking. I was like, I got it off in time. I know that. And I looked over to the bench, and everyone started coming. I was like, we won the game. I was like, the referee's going to review. They have to. And I was like, nah, we won the game. Then after that, then it was like, wow. Like I didn't even scream or celebrate because I was still like, man, we just won the game. This keep going through my head like it actually happened. You know, we did what people said was the impossible. It wasn't impossible to us. You know, because we got a great team. You know, I got a great team behind me. Got 2 great seniors.
More from college basketball. Valerie Nesbitt seemed to be catching on to the Division I Basketball League. 6 games into her season with the Ole Miss Rebels. The former Chipola Junior College player has been putting up the stats the last 2 games, much to the delight of head coach and Bahamian Yolette McPhee-McQuinn.
I was probably our most competitive player we have on the roster. Sometimes that's a gift and a curse for her. If she continues to learn how to channel it for it to be a gift, then she will continue to have success. But I thought I saw a lot of growth from her. Usually, if she had missed the free throws in the fashion that she did, she would have had a complete meltdown, and she did not. And she kept fighting, and that is what we needed from her.
Bahamas Ladies Hoop Fest tips off today in the Bahama Resort, Lehigh, Ball State, Wisconsin. And Arkansas Lady Razorbacks, who arrived in the 242 Wednesday, are all here. And the Razorbacks brought gifts to assist with the Hurricane Dorian effort.
Well, when we scheduled this tournament, we were so excited to come to the Bahamas and then to follow the weather on the TV. We just wanted to do something a little special. Go into our closets, bring Razorback gear to the people of the Bahamas and help in any way we can. So thank you for having us. We look forward to our time here.
On behalf of Bahamas Hoop Fest, on behalf of the Bahamian people, on behalf of all of the victims from Dorian, we thank you guys sincerely for your kind gesture. I know you guys came here to play basketball, but sometimes we got to go beyond just the game of basketball and look at the game of life. And you don't know how far these things are going to go. I mean, there were thousands of Bahamians who were displaced and still are displaced. And I thank you as a Bahamian citizen from the bottom of my heart for your kind gesture. And so thank you for this, and go Razorbacks.
Thank you. That's good. Buddy Hield, 22 points to go along with 6 rebounds and 4 assists as the Sacramento Kings ended their 4-game road trip with a 99-91 loss to the Philadelphia 76ers. They are now back home Saturday in playing the Denver Nuggets. Now, the Battle for Atlantis basketball tournament that tipped off yesterday, Michigan beat Iowa 83-76, North Carolina over Alabama 76-67. Gonzaga, big win over Southern Miss 94-68. In Oregon last night, they edged Seton Hall 71-6. Now today at 1:30, Michigan will take on North Carolina. That's a big game on ESPN. Oregon will then play Gonzaga at 4. They'll come back at 6:30, Alabama against Iowa State. And closing out the night, Seton Hall and Southern Miss in the Imperial Ballroom of the Atlantis Resort. And once again as well, the Hoop Fest at the Bahama Resort and the Chunkunu Jam over there in Bimini at the Tabernacle Thanksgiving Tournament in Grand Bahama. How much ball basketball do you need? Just a big bowl of food today. I can't wait. Have a great day, everybody.
December 5th through 8th, it's sailing competition at its finest with the best of the best regatta live on the ZNS network. All races, all classes. Call the ZNS Sales Department at 502-3902 and have your business cash in on all the excitement. There's only one network for sloop sailing, the ZNS Network, the People's Station. The best of the best regatta, December 5th through 8th, beginning at 9 a.m. on the ZNS Network.
Across the entire span of the Bahamas, there is a strategic spread of national parks which play a vital role in protecting the survival and well-being of diverse wildlife, as well as Bahamian livelihoods. The Andros Westside National Park, for instance, consists of thriving bonefish populations, the healthiest stands of red mangroves found in the Bahamas, breeding and nursery areas that support wildlife such as snappers, groupers, lobsters, and threatened and endangered species like marine turtles, the Andros rock iguana, and the flamingo.
If we do not effectively safeguard our natural treasures, vital habitats, which include nursery and breeding areas, will become vulnerable to a number of threats impacting the way we live. We must remember to do our part to maintain the integrity of the natural environment. Remember, if we take care of nature, nature will take care of us.
Our marine resources were once considered inexhaustible. Conch and reef fish like grouper were abundant everywhere, and it seemed as if the lobster catch would rise forever. But today, there is a downward trend that affects everyone. Researchers say we can reverse the trend by protecting more marine habitats. And the good news is that most Bahamians strongly support efforts to halt further decline. Tripling the size of our network of marine parks will mean more fish and conch for everyone now and for the future, as well as more recreational and ecotourism opportunities. Today, only 10% of our waters are protected. Surveys show that most Bahamians consider protection of our marine environment to be a top national priority. More protection means more benefits for everyone, now and in the future. It's a win-win-win strategy for the economy, for Bahamians, and for nature. Protect our sea, protect our way of life, protect the Bahamas. See the future. Visit Bahamas Protected on Facebook to learn more about marine protected areas.
Well, in our final look at weather, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I did forget to mention that in the early part, but high pressure still remaining in control of our weather. That's going to be generating some rather stable conditions across the islands. Could see some patchy clouds around, isolated showers possible with that, but all in all, it should be very, very beautiful day for Thanksgiving. Cold front, actually, this is the piece of a cold front that we're mentioning that should be swinging through our area. Not going to do much in terms of bringing any significant weather, but it will reinforce our nice conditions across our area, but we do expect a more significant cold front. This is a system that's taking shape across the central portions of the United States. That will not get here until Sunday into Monday, as the low-pressure system pulls to the north and drives the cold front into our area by that time frame. The tropics, we are winding down the Atlantic hurricane season, and it is very quiet out there. Just about 2 more days left in the Atlantic hurricane season. Very busy for us. Of course, you remember Dorian giving us quite a bit of a problem. But things are quiet, and it's going to remain quiet over the next couple of days. The forecast for the day calls for sunshine, some clouds. It's going to be a little bit on the warm side. Temperatures will be in the low to mid 80s, and we expect those conditions to remain with us. Tonight, we're looking for some patchy clouds. Temperatures will get back into the 60s, 68 expected here in the capital. And of course, your 7-day outlook. Really looking at some 80s today through tomorrow. Then that front getting in here sometime early next week, Monday, Tuesday time frame, taking a big dip. Temperatures will be in the mid-70s, low temperatures at night into the upper 50s to the low 60s. And that's basically nice weather. That's a look at your forecast for 6. Do enjoy your Thanksgiving.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station. December 5th through 8th, it's sailing competition at its finest with the best of the best regatta live on the ZNS network. All races, all classes. Call the ZNS Sales Department at 502-3902 and have your business cash in on all the excitement. There's only one network for sloop sailing, the ZNS Network, the People's Station. The best of the best regatta, December 5th through 8th, beginning at 9 a.m. on the ZNS Network. Now you can watch the ZNS network of channels absolutely free. That's right, ZNS is now broadcasting 3 separate channels, free to air on Channel 13. One channel has the regular ZNS TV HD programming. One is the Parliamentary channel, and one is the 24/7 television community page. These channels may be accessed simply by attaching either a rabbit ears antenna or an indoor amplified antenna to the RF input connector on the back of your digital television or flat screen TV. Once the antenna is connected, select TV mode and choose Auto Scan, and your TV will automatically pick up Channel 13 at no charge. Once you're on Channel 13, just use the channel selector to go to each of the 3 ZNS free channels. Antennas are available on many sites online. Free TV, ZNS brings it back to you.
Hi, I'm Stuart Cove, and for many years, I've taken pride in introducing young Bahamians and international visitors to the wonders of our Bahamian underwater world. Our marine ecosystem helps to keep our tourism industry and fisheries sector healthy and lucrative. We must all do our part in protecting it for future generations. And that is why I ensure our staff and customers are taught about the importance of coral reefs. I do this and more to protect our underwater life because I care. Do you?
Welcome back to the morning edition. We are now live in the kitchen of the University of the Bahamas as the ham and turkey are being prepared. Our Kelsey Johnson is standing by. Kelsey?
Jimanita, I was in the kitchen all night cooking up some delicious, if you can just zoom in on this turkey. Jimmy, I did my thing this morning and all last night on this particular turkey. I have 2 here, and like they say, it's Turkey Day, but Bahamians, we love our ham. And I have about 4 trays of ham. I have already sliced them up. I said from 1 a.m. this morning, I was up cooking, making sure that everything is prepped. We're going to have a big, delicious lunch there on top of the hill at ZNS. Jimmy, if you miss it, oh my gosh, I know you get off at 12:30. There's ham, there's turkey. Look how I cut this ham. So nicely slim. Ooh, wow. Jimmy, you don't even understand. But let me let you know the truth, Jimanita, and the rest of the Bahamas. I had help from a young chef. Can I get your name for the record again?
Salva Hudson.
All right, Salva, if you could just tell me the preparation, the time that went into making sure that you were prepared. I didn't tell the Bahamas it was me and you. So that we were prepared for this morning's show.
Well, we first started off, we had to boil our ham, and then we let them cool, and then we put them in the refrigerator so they could be more firm in order to slice them more thinly. And then we had our turkey, we had to break them down. Some we fully deboned them, and then some we just 50% deboned them, took out the middle carcass so we could get our stock going. We made brown stock, and then we made Espanol sauce, and then we made a white stock, and we made white. We made a velouté sauce. Then we have our ham here. We took the pineapple juices from the ham and we made our glaze. And then you could just put that right on the ham like that before you push it back in the oven, right before serving. And then we...
So how long will let me put this back in the oven. How long should this cook?
Once you put this back in the oven on a low heat, just so it can get heat it back up. You could put that in there for about 30, 40 minutes, and then that'll be just nice.
Now, Sullivan, I see we have some yams here. We've already glazed them as well.
Yes, ma'am. We've sliced our yams and we have blanched them, which is we just put them in hot water and then take them out and put them into cold water so they could stop cooking. And then we glaze them with our honey glaze sauce. And then once we turn on our ovens, we're going to put them in the oven for about 30 minutes. Then we're just going to put the marshmallows on top and put them back in for another 5 minutes so the marshmallows can melt and they'll just be nice.
So what are we going to do with these cherries? I see we have a lot of cherries here.
Well, yes, we have our pineapples and our cherries, and we can just put our pineapples on top of our ham just so it could get the extra flavor and for decoration. And put our
that's
cherries
cute.
right there, yes.
I'm cooking. Look at me. I'm so excited. Am I making a mess? Or it's okay to let some of the...
Just bring it closer.
And what is all in this particular sauce here?
In this particular sauce, we put our pineapple juice, mustard, and brown sugar. And then in order to thicken it and get that nice smoothness, we made a cornstarch slurry, which is just cornstarch and water, and we whisk it in there rapidly while the water is boiling in order to thicken it up.
Now, you mentioned deboning a turkey. Can you just show us exactly what do you mean by when the turkey is deboned and when it has the bone?
Well, with the turkey, you have the whole turkey. We basically put the turkey on its back, and we slice right down the middle rib and the back, and we carve around the sides right against the bone until we have the two flaps of the turkey, which would be the wing and the leg on one side. And then we take the legs and the wings and we carve around those and take the bone out of those. And then we have here our roulade. We just rolled it and then baked it just like that. And then all you have to do is just slice it and you have just 100% meat, no bone.
So which one is better for serving?
Better for serving, I'd say the roulade one, because it's easier to carve. All you have to do is just slice, and then you have more evenly portion sizes for your customers.
Now, we can't take the spotlight. We are being joined this morning by another young chef. She's over here. She has a lot of stuffing going on. This looks delicious. Can you tell us what is in this stuffing and how long did it take to cook?
We made the stuffing by melting butter, carrots, seasoning, onions, and celery. And then we used the bread that we sliced up. And we still have to just bake it in the oven right now.
All right, so can I just get your name for the record, please? Everybody's trying to figure out who's the face behind this white hat, because they really can't see your face. If we can just turn right here to the camera and wave and say, "Good morning, Mommy, we're cooking." So what else you're going to have prepared for us today?
We also have ham, turkey, pumpkin pie, apple pie.
I'm Sweet Mode. I'm really interested in seeing some of the pumpkin pie you have around here. Has any been completed as yet or baked as yet?
We still have to finish a few.
All right. Well, you can get this delicious meal and more right here from these young, inspiring chefs who are working at the University of the Bahamas. Jimenita, I promise you, I will bring you a plate of ham because I love me some turkey, and these turkey look delicious. So back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Kelsey. That food does look delicious. Well, that does it for the morning edition on this thankful Thursday. For all of us here, I'm Jimenita Swain. We hope you have a great day.